Hello there, folks. Welcome back to Magic Arena, where today we have turducken. Anyway, aside from a lovely, delicious meal, we have some lovely, delicious meals in the form of a bird tribal deck. Bird tribal, you say? Yeah, bird tribal. So, with M19, we got Rustwing Falcon, which got me the idea. Okay, how many cheap birds can we really get going? How effective are birds? And it's like, okay, well, we've got Artificer's Assistant. Okay. And then we've got Eddytrail Hawk, which is... it's okay, we're moving down the thing. But we got Glint-Nest Crane, so we get a few points back. And we've got some Aven guide here. Let's just go right down the list anyway. So, Rustwing Falcon, 1/2 flyer for 1. Nice, cheap, good rate, good 1-drop, right? Solid. Alright. Artificer's Assistant, 1/1 flying for 1, and whenever you cast a historic spell, scry 1. We have very little historic in the deck, but it's not the synergy, it's the 1/1 for 1, right? It's the flying man. Yeah. We've got 4 Curious Obsession here, just to get a few beats in there, get the card draw going. If we lose it, we lose it. If not, great. That kind of thing. So +1/+1, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can draw a card. And if you didn't attack, then sacrifice it. But we're a Skies deck, so that's fairly irrelevant. We've got 4 Unsummon just to clear the way or save our own creatures. We've got 4 Eddytrail Hawk, and for 2 mana is a 1/2 flyer. Okay, Stormcrow, what about you? Well, when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, and when it attacks, you may pay an energy. If you do, it gives another creature, another attacking creature flying till end of turn. Just bank that knowledge. We've got Glint-Nest Crane, 1/3 flyer for 2, and when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 and reveal an artifact, put it into your hand. Here's an artifact, Metallic Mimic, which... let's be fair, I don't have all the copies, clearly. 2/1 for 2 is any creature type you want, and any other creatures of that type, when you name the type, when it enters the battlefield, gets +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. So, Eddytrail Hawk can bump up the Mimic to flying status during an attack. Pride of Conquerors, because I needed something in the slot. Honestly, I just needed something in the slot, and it works. So, for 2 mana, creatures control get +1/+1 till end of turn. If you have City's Blessing, they get +2/+2 till end of turn. Fair enough, let's bump them up. Favorable Winds, 4 copies. And creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. So... basically an anthem for the birds, except for Metallic Mimic, but we have Eddytrail Hawk for that, so it tries to balance it all out. Then there's 4 copies of Radiant Destiny. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures control the chosen type get +1/+1 and Vigilance as long as you have City's Blessing. And then we have 3 Oketra's Monument, which is the fluctuating card as it stands right now, as I try to fill in the slots, to be fair. So, white creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That only applies to, I think, these guys and these guys. The rest of them will generally cost full cost, but most of them, well, you're going to save only 4 mana if you draw 4. 6? Take your pick. Okay, so... whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token with Vigilance. Doesn't matter the creature color, you get the warrior token. So, with that knowledge in mind, Aven Guide for 4 mana is a 2/3 flying vigilant bird warrior. Keep it in mind. Creature tokens you control have flying and vigilance. Also, it embalms. So, this gives the warrior tokens flying and vigilance, but they already have vigilance, so it never mattered in the first place. But flying, nonetheless, which opens them up to favorable winds. Which also means that if you have a board presence of warrior, Radiant Destiny can name warrior if you want, which will boost this. And these. And even this if you're going that route. So there's a little bit of flexibility. You can go bird or you can go warrior, depending on how your board state goes. But it's a bird tribal deck, clearly. In any case, the lands are just, well, relevant ones are Shefet Dunes, maybe Unclaimed Territory. Beyond that, I only have one Glacial Fortress for the deck. I apologize. Yes, you want to probably fluctuate, maybe drop down to 3 Unclaimed and get a set of Glacial in here. But 20 lands, because it's so low to the ground. In fact, probably the finished version might drop the Oketra's Monument and Aven Wing Guide package and go down to some cheaper cost stuff so that our 3 drops are at an absolute minimum and we're just running 1 and 2 drops. Anyways, so the deck's intended to be pure gas, super low to the ground, beat your opponent's face, super hyper aggro style. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see what it's like. It's a pretty fun deck. Let's get into some games and see how it does. Alright, we're up against Dimir Mage number 822 and we're on the play. We have a Rustwing Falcon which is going to die to the Fatal Push because Dimir Mage and Oketra's Monuments, which are basically removal.deck insurance, so I'm going to actually keep the hand based on that. Till then, go claw his eyes out! Also, there's at least 822 Dimir Mages, and I'm going to ask you now, do you believe him? You had one job to do, Dimir Mage! One job! Ugh. So it's what do we, are we going to slow down our, everything for Oketra's Monument? No. No way. We may be off that plan depending on our draws for all we know, but it may be our turn 3 job. Diamond Mare. Horse Tribal. Name's White. What are the stats of Diamond Mare since it's new? Whenever you cast a spell of chosen color, you gain 1 life. Alright. Fair enough. Then, okay, this is a little bit slow on this client, but basically, yeah, giving flying, but not really, but flying, but not really. Anyways, Oketra's Monument down. We'll see if we can draw creatures from here on out. Come on, Dimir Mage. Show me what you got. Show me some Dimir. Johnny's Pride Mate. That's the wrong order of things. But that Johnny's Pride Mate's going to get seriously out of control. That's probably our main unsummon target. Also, blanking. Blanking is a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just kind of bank that knowledge that we need to find 3 permanents somehow. Just declining this. We're going to get our chip damage in. Yeah, they can hit us for a whole bunch at some point in time, but we draw a creature. We can start chump blocking with warrior tokens. We draw some lord effects. We can officially race. We've got an unsummon in hand anyway. I fear, like, the curve out of... Well, our opponent missed a mana last turn, but the curve out to, like, Leon and whatever the dude is that does the thing. Okay, that's an issue. Opponent forced my hand. We're going to need just creatures to block Pride Mate, I guess. But that was an issue. That had to be dealt with then and there. We're not letting that happen. So we're going to take 3. Get a Mimic. Well, a Mimic works. Now, we didn't draw many creatures recently, but, I mean, whatever. Things happen. And... Bird. Also named Warrior, but we're not really in the strong presence of either. And decline this. Get another 2 points. Have a chump blocker for Pride Mate. So the opponent plays the Diamond Mare again. Yeah. Took him away from his engine for a hot minute, and that seemed to work. See what our opponent does. Seal away on one of my birds. Well, that's kind of gross. That was what I was thinking when you're playing aggro creatures and life gain. I need a seal away. I guess he has no intent of blocking. I'm not blocking it at 4. We're going to hang on there. Okay, well, our opponent is doing their best to keep us away from City's Blessing. By the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So that's City's Blessing as it stands right now, but in any case, we're sending in the 1. Our opponents realized that this was the threat for now. That it was going to make things fly. So let's see what our opponent ends up doing. We've got plenty of chump blockers, but if they're just cast out .deck, then... Seriously, dude? Seriously? Okay, when do I stop? When do I start blocking that guy? Well, we've got City's Blessing, so let's go from there. This life gain is a little bit untenable, though. Oh, look. Go away. Got there. Okay, so we still have City's Blessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 10, indeed. So let's get this life gain deck down to our level. All right, your go. We didn't really see much in the Lord effects. Rustwing Falcon got a counter, though. It's one of the lesser ones this time. Shield Mare. Diamond Mare gains life. Pride Mage does the thing. Shield Mare gains life. Now keep in mind, he's gained a very large amount of life regardless of anything here. Alright. Well, we've bricked on a land. We're going to send in the Falcons, of course. Keep that life gain reasonable. This Oketra's Monument in hand is a little crappy unless we actually find something to work with it. Pious Interdiction. Add some life. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now I have to block that stupid kitty. Alright. That is a reason to play the second Oketra's Monument now. Anyways, our opponent is deciding to... What are you doing? Thank you. We're just going to send him for 1. We're winning the race, folks! We're winning! Right? I think we are, actually, to a slight degree. Okay, and a monument. Monument gets a scry. Scry away a land. There, it did work. There you go, folks. Took away a brick. Just as long as we can keep that pressure up in any way, shape, or form. Well, opponent, can you maintain it? You're out of cards. So you got to deal with 4. But I've only got 3 next turn. Can he do it? Another Diamond Mare. Which doesn't gain him life because it's colorless. So probably named white as well, indeed. Okay, Glint-Nest Crane, pretty good. As long as we have more creatures than them. So send in the assistant, send in the Falcon. Get them down to 1. Was there any way this would have worked otherwise? No. 4 blockers to 4 ground guys. Okay. So the monument makes another guy. Glint-Nest Crane gets us another artifact. Or not. Doesn't matter. Catcher's Monument. Okay, so look at the top 4. Play 1 for 3 more mana. You can scry 1. Yeah. Just keep that gas going. So nice. The Oketra's Monuments kept us going purely in gas. This guy. This guy. He just doesn't know when it's over. It's over, dude. Give up. I find that Aven Wind Guide or whatever he is, and it's 100% over. The Curious Obsession is... Well, we've got... Yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that. That gets down to 1 again. Unless... These aren't life linking. We've got 4 to their 4, 5. Yep. That's it. That's everything. We got 1 token that manages to get through. And he's got no life gain on board or in hand, so we got it. Take that, life gain deck! It's over! Pack it in! You're done! Got it! Yeah! That's right, birds beat cats! And horses! And... yeah. Alright, we're against Homeless Jace, aka Neo Black, with a blue avatar. It's almost as bad as the Dimir mage. If I see neither black nor blue, I will be sorely... Isn't that what I said the last one? Anyway. This curves interestingly. Okay. Well, we've got Assistant on 1 and potentially Mimic on 2, or Rustwing Falcon, Curious Obsession. And favorable wins. It's Christmas. All I need is lands from here on out. Just curve me, baby. Curve me. No wanting to mill. Interesting. Unsummon good against this Godpharaoh's Gift deck, which is either Godpharaoh's Gift or an all-in mill with Minister of Inquiries. But even then, they probably would have went in all in with the you know what I mean. Send the bird. Are they holding the 2-mana counterspell? Almost feels like it. Put down the Mimic. We get the Scry at least. And with the amount of pause that was involved there... Yeah, I'm not going to run an Unsummon. That feels like a counter. But it's not, so maybe it was wrong to ditch the Unsummon. It was either ditch the Unsummon or because I felt that it was a counter. It's hard to tell. Our opponent is just taking their sweet time, apparently, instead. Let me assist them. They might be lost as to what to do. There we go. They were holding us up on an opt, folks. An opt. So this guy at the top, don't know for what. A Minister of Inquiries is a very strong tell that it's God Pharaoh's gift, but so far no white sources, no looting, no anything. It's Mill. Mill is fine for us, by the way. Mill is fine for us. So they're going to try and do some counter shenanigans, I guess. At this point, this is when I want to beat them over the head as hard as I possibly can. Curious Obsession, probably relevant towards that. Anyways, Rustwing Falcon. It's where do I want to go? Do I want Curious Obsession? I think Curious Obsession is still fine here, because Favorable Winds is not going to provide any meaningful bonus this turn. Oh, this guy's slow on the triggers. Real slow on the triggers. So we'll send this over. Draw a card. End combat. Wow, this guy. End turn. Resolve. He missed the trigger on the Praying Sandy with Minister of Inquiry, so I'm going to bounce it now, just to slow him down a bit. I don't give him the credit of having a strong creature presence. Bounce it, keep him off his game just a bit here. There's the corrosion, okay. And Minister. Okay, so we're going to just start beating him over the head very soon. Very, very soon. I think we just Curious Obsession and Favorable Winds and say, deal with me. I'm coming at you. Okay, now that we've got this presence, I'm going to send the Mimic in. If he wants to block, he can go by all means block. We've got too much of a presence that we can slow him down on the mill plan. We don't need the Mimic that badly. And if he's willing to take damage, then great. That's exactly what we want. Him taking damage. Yeah! Okay. What did he get rid of ours? A land and a Favorable Winds. He's probably like, thank God I got rid of that Favorable Winds. Like, yeah, the Favorable Winds. That's what you got rid of. So he's at 5 mana, and I fear, like, River's Rebuke or some silliness like that. Compelling argument. That's not going to be enough to convince me. Not even close to enough. Okay, so he mills a bunch of cards. Gets us down to 26. Holding up counter mana. So how do we do this in the way that hurts their face the most? Oh, they just explode now. Never mind. There sees the writing on the wall. We're in a much better state than he is. Birds! Doing it again! Birds beat Mill. Alright, we're on the play versus Katrin Great, and based on the rest of the names, I'm going to have my doubts that she's that great. Just based on how our opponents have been going. So, our one drop is based off Shefet Dunes. We have white mana. I'll take white mana. I don't care. It's fine. I'll take it. Get the Rustwing Falcon down on 1. Okay, our opponent on blue. Not what I was expecting, but alright. Send! Jam Eddytrail Hawk. We're getting a few more lands than I'd like here at this point, but hey, whatever. Oh, no, 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 not blue, white, nothing. Not blue, white, nothing. No. Knight of Grace. Oh, thank God. Thank God. A land. Wonderful. Send these guys. Not a problem. We don't need to reveal that right now, but we can reveal the Oketra's Monument. Yeah, that works for now, anyway. Plane's very, yellow. So, blue-white Knight of Grace. What does that tell me? Boggles? Blue-white creatures that are resilient is what I'm going with here, which would have to be Boggles. Got it. Nailed it. Alright, you give your first strike guy first strike. You got a Sky Marcher, sure. Got something else to go with it? Curious Obsession. It's Boggles. Well, the easy way to deal with Boggles is to just block their thing, I guess, in this case. Alright, Glint-Nest Crane. Gets this guy, gets this guy, gets us nothing. Thanks, stack. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're just a little ways off. How much damage can we take that's acceptable? I'm going to send these guys anyway. Decline this action. Okay, so let's do a very quick math. 3, 6, 9, 12 with a Pride. So, not lethal. They have City's Blessing, so we have to be cautious. Cartouche of Knowledge. This guy. Like, you're just telling me one thing, and that's that I have to block that thing. Block that thing. No way I'm letting him get that one going. Oh. That's potentially something I don't know. Now this is a trick that I'm going to try to pull on my opponent right now. No, I don't know if I've got a trick. Ah, screw it. Send! I'm going to try and sneak in something. Get the free blocks. Didn't happen. Oh well. Screw it. Bounce. It worked! I didn't expect that, people. I was just like, okay, I gotta get him to try to use the dive down. I might have to use the Pride of Conquerors on the Sky Marchers to get him to react, and then bounce the Knight. I guess it was just that much easier. Well, I mean, okay. And Vanguard comes out. He stacked a lot of stuff on a very fickle target. So we just need something useful from here on out. Something that's real effective. There's the Knight of Grace. This race is slowing down as we kind of drew our lands, and he Curious Obsessions his lands, to be fair. We kind of drew nothing to really make anything happen. Okay, he doesn't want to trade anything. Fair enough. Alright, give me a good hit here. Good enough. Yeah, good enough. Get that feeling like it's Spell Pierce in his hand? Ever get that feeling? Okay, the air is ours. For now. This trigger doesn't matter, we can save our energy. It's not enough to matter, is it? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That puts him at 3, and he has to play defensively from here on out. Do it. That, him being at 3 changes how he plays the game. He will play it a lot differently from here on out. Because we have all flyers on the board. All flyers. If he clears the Aven Wing Guide, we have all ground blockers. But, nonetheless, it does change how he has to play things here. Because we're still representing lethal. Well, that works. That works. They had to go all in, though. So he has to keep the aspirants back. This 2 damage doesn't matter. This 2 damage is fine. This is an easy block. Because he can't pay the life, this is an easy block. This is a very favorable block for us. Alright, buddy. This is how you Curious Obsession. We're going to put it on the Rustwing Falcon. And that clears his blockers, honestly. He has to chump block it or... screw it. I'll attack. Spend the energy to make this fly. Things are coming his way. He can trade. He's letting us have the card. Just so that he can have board presence. Okay. Thanks, Dak. Well, whatever. We draw another planes, then we Shefet him. I don't know. He might have the removal already. For all I know. And then it could go horribly south. But, at the end of the day, we still have an Oketra's Monument. Like, we have pieces. Unless they've got combat tricks to win the game outright. Which could have been the plan all along. No, he's going to activate his Shefet. So he needs a 1 mana combat trick for it to work. 2 mana combat. Don't be Pride of Conquerors. Please don't Pride of Conquerors me, bro. Okay. We blanked on a land, so this is miracle moment. Thanks, leg! We got it! We got it, folks! Woo! That was a much closer one. But, I mean, it's a very similar deck. Wow! What a game! Woo! So that's birds, folks! Does what it does! It flies, pecks eyes out, and beats all things, especially... I don't know. It beats cats. It seems to beat cats. Which is the weird thing that I've noticed. But yeah, it's surprisingly decent, folks. Like, it holds its own. It does, and it's super cheap. You want to know where my rares are? Glacial Fortress, Radiant Destiny, Metallic Mimic. That's it. That's all of them. So, I mean, if you really want to bounce them up, it'd probably be up to, what, 12 rares with 4 Glacial, 4 Radiant, and 4 Mimic. So there you go. It's actually super budget friendly. I mean, common, uncommon, common, uncommon. And there's the rare, uncommon. Super, super easy to make, folks. Even the Unclaimed Territory, uncommon. No problem. Easy. So, hope you enjoyed the deck, folks. That's birds. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. Bye-bye.